whoever, and all these puffs would just go away in the gutter.
When you came to the wall, it was up against the wall like this.
Oh, it was hideous.
It was awful.
The girl that I was standing beside, who was like terrified, was standing there completely naked, being made to shake her underpants to prove that there was nothing concealed in them, you know?
I was stripped down to my underwear, and she sort of put her fingers down my underwear, and I had to reveal my breast.
I was asked to take my shoes off, my socks off, my jeans off, my underwear off. As I was doing that, another private individual citizen was naked in front of me, bending over to touch his toes while a torch was shone up his anus.
This was a normal action in relation to, as I said before, advice that these premises were used by people using drugs, a considerable amount of drugs.
Certainly on the surface of it, it does seem extreme, and I am concerned about 460 people potentially being strip searched.
You get a lot of mixed clientele coming here. Most women come here because it's not a meat market. They're not going to get harassed. They can dance, they can listen to good music and have a good time with their friends.
I will remember for the rest of my life, you know, the policemen running towards me, just screaming, throwing people up against the wall.
It was clear that one of the plainclothes officers in charge had a real problem with the situation. Other officers did behave quite pleasantly, and one at least spoke to me civilly. But I was disgusted with the behaviour of the plainclothes police in particular.
When you say a problem, you mean a problem with homosexuality?
Yes, definitely. This sort of homophobia just dripped from him.
They are made to look not only Keystone cops, but also as dangerous armed thugs on the loose and out of control. They have been coming in here with our cooperation and at our invitation for months and doing discreet surveillance. We don't want drugs in this place. We've encouraged the police to come in and get rid of people who are causing problems.
There was quite a lot of drugs found on the floor. There was quite a lot of drugs found in clothes that were abandoned.
Well, so what? I mean, if they go to the casino or they go pretty well anywhere in Melbourne on a Saturday night, they will find people who have got different forms of drugs. One person has complained to me that he wasn't allowed to go to the toilet for 1.5 hours, and because of the embarrassment and not wanting to urinate in public, ended up wetting his trousers. Another person was told that the police forcibly removed his clothes, and actually before removing his trousers, one of the police officers put his hand down the front of his underwear and squeezed his testicles to make the point to him that he'd better cooperate.
There's a broad range of allegations being made. Some of them are particularly serious, and if proven, I think would warrant some rather severe action. On that basis, I think it's inappropriate for me to jump to any conclusions until we've got a full investigation taking place.
A number of the people are saying that they weren't only just stripped naked, that they were told to spread their buttocks, they had torches shined up their anuses. Do you accept those allegations?
Well, as I said, the allegations go even further than that. We've had some allegations of digital penetration. Now, that's strictly against our guidelines, and it is unacceptable, but until I'm satisfied that there's been a full and thorough investigation undertaken, I'm not going to jump to any conclusion.
In fact, I've had one complaint about 2 years ago from a 70-year-old woman who was at a pub in one of the working class suburbs of Melbourne, who was forced to go through a strip search. She was totally humiliated by the experience.
With the drug usage in the community, what are you hoping to achieve by strip searching some people in a club?
Well, look, this is getting back to specifics about this incident. Let me say this, that drug traffickers carry around drugs on their person so they've got them accessible to distribute. Now, if we're going to put a blanket ban on strip searches of people, we may as well hand over the streets to the drug dealers because we'd never ever get a prosecution.
I cannot believe that you can be out in a public venue having a good time and the next thing you know you're manhandled and pushed around and made to take all your clothes off.
Can you understand the general outrage in the community from lawyers, from community groups, that the police think they've got the power to do that?
I can understand anyone expressing concern if they think that powers which should be exercised in a reasonable way are being exceeded. I accept that, I understand it, and as I've said before, if that's what's taken place, we'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
When the Victorian police strip-searched 400 people at the Commerce Club, what were they up to? Oh, about here. They were looking up a few suspects. Drugs. People hide them everywhere. That's why the police were strip-searching the entire crowd at the AFL Grand Final. Civil liberties? How can the Victorian police infringe something they don't know anything about? What a bum rap.